Yo, it's been a long time. I hope my 3 subscribers are doing well. I'm in Arizona right now. It's 110 degrees. I don't know how long it's been since my last video. I know I've done a few videos, but didn't upload them just because there's some things that I talk about that I really, with regards to like nutrition and health, that I need to check my facts before I actually upload it. So however, but main reason why I haven't really done any videos lately is because my egotistical alcoholic mind was basically telling me, what's the point? Nobody's watching them. You only have 3 subscribers. Boo hoo hoo. But then I was thinking, and I was recalling my first video, or my original intent for doing these, and it was to bring the meeting to me, because I'm in a truck and I can't really get to a meeting as often as I'd like to. So with that, I'm gonna try to keep breaking out the videos. However, I was thinking about the 12 steps, and I mean, my whole life is now based on the 12 steps. I mean, anything I do, I think about the 12 steps. I refer back to the 12 steps. And I was thinking of an analogy. "12 steps is like a spiritual enema, right?" Why would somebody need an enema? To clean out all the bad shit. Make room for the good shit. Spiritual enema. Clean out the bad energy, put back in some good energy. Allow the good energy to flow. I mean, I was just thinking about that, and it's true. I mean, I can testify that even though I haven't been to meetings or anything like that, I mean, I'm still doing my thing. I'm still reading my book. I'm researching other spiritual topics, other spiritual books, and Buddhism and spiritual or men of the Bible, things like that. And I'm trying to do what they did as a man. It's very important for me to be out here and to make sure that I'm being a man of integrity, a courteous man, a good man, a loving man. And it starts right here in my mind. Today was a hell of a day. Today was a sucky day, and normally I would have been cussing up and down, left and right. I mean, because I wasn't able to get from point A to B as fast as I wanted to, and there was just a lot of hiccups along the way. But I'm able to naturally now refer back to the 12 steps. First step, I have no control over this. I have no control over this. I am powerless. And for me to take full control of this is for me to take back my will. And man, as an alcoholic, and if you're an alcoholic, you know what happens when you take back your will. I mean, for me now, taking back my will is cussing and cursing at the situation. I mean, that's not really much, but I mean, at least it's not hurting it. At least it's not hurting anybody physically, but, and I'm thinking that's my ego thinking that. No, I mean, the path right now is so narrow for me because I feel that I'm very spiritually fit, and to even contemplate veering off or tangenting off the side a little bit, I can feel. I mean, you know, and that's the good thing. Like, I can actually feel when I'm about to step off the path. And of course, it's in my mind. It all starts in the mind. It all originates in the mind. I mean, so today, yeah, I was pissed off. Not pissed off, but I was angry. I was frustrated. And I felt these things, right? I felt a little impatient. But I would have to say that my patience prevailed over everything. However, the anger was really at the forefront. And it's okay for me to feel angry, to be upset, to be steaming. But what really counts is what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, and what I'm doing. So today I gave myself a pat on the back, and I didn't curse anyone. I didn't curse anything. I didn't curse a situation. That's good. I mean, you know, for me, my whole point of living now is to feel what I'm feeling, but not react to it mentally, verbally, and physically. I mean, you know, because as an alcoholic, if I react to it negatively, I start straying off the path, and I can feel it. So, you know, but the most important step for me, by far, is the first step. And I use the first step for everything. When I wake up in the morning, I mean, you know, I'm powerless over alcohol. I'm powerless over this day. Everything, every single thing. I mean, the 12 steps can be used. 12 steps is that map that we all wish we had imprinted on our forehead when we were born. I mean, you know, I remember growing up wishing that God had just given me something to live by, to walk by. I mean, you know, and all those years of living, I was trying to find a certain way to feel happy, to be happy, to feel good, to feel okay in my skin. And I know a lot of us wish we were born with the map on our forehead, the key. But I have to be, I gotta be honest, man. I mean, the 12 steps is that map. The 12 steps is the action that we must take mentally, verbally, physically. And it has done so much for me. A lot of us in AA don't fully recover because we don't fully admit powerlessness over alcohol. I mean, we can think it, we can kind of believe it, but if you don't know it, if I don't know it, it's the chances of me drinking or going on to the bitter end without alcohol, because it can be with alcohol or without alcohol. And honestly, it's happened to me without alcohol. It was last year. I should have drank, to tell you the truth, but I didn't. I mean, but if you don't have a knowing that you are an alcoholic, and I don't like to talk at you or at anyone, then you're never truly going to be sober. At least spiritually sober. I mean, you know, full spiritually. I mean, that's the first step. If you want to think about an enema, that's the first step in an enema is to fill it with water and stick it up your butt. Sorry to tell you that. That's the first step. The steps 2 through 12 is, well, I don't know. I don't want to. It's nasty. I mean, the first step is, you know, you got to start the engine, and that's truth. For me, that is truth. If I'm truthful to myself about what I'm powerless over, then I'm going to be okay. And I've come to the realization that I am powerless over everything. Everything. But I have full power. I am powerful with and through and in my higher power. And my higher power is Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah. Step 2. My higher power is Lord Jesus Christ. And without my higher power, I am powerless. Without my higher power, I am just a sack of bones. I'm a zombie walking through life. Without my higher power, I'm following everything else but Jesus. Or my higher power. I'm following my will. My will is my higher power. My gluttony is my higher power. My sex addiction is my higher power. My emotional insecurities are my higher power. My gambling addiction is my higher power. If I don't come to the realization that Jesus or whatever higher power I wish to follow, if I don't come to the realization that... Anyways, you get the point. But it's not done. Step 3. Will. My will, yeah. I got to give my will to God. I got to give my will to my higher power. And through and in and with my higher power, I am able to follow and perform my higher power's will. Without my higher power, it's my will or someone else's will. If I'm codependent, it's somebody else's will. And I've been all these I have been. And step 4, fearless moral inventory of myself. I can't fully concede to my higher power's will until I recognize my defects of character. And my defects of character stem from my God-given natural instincts: hunger, sex, and emotional security. Emotional, financial security, things just fight or flight, wanting to survive. If I'm not okay with these things, these things become my will, and I follow them. So I have to recognize how my other defects of character stem from these. Out here on the road, I'm learning that it can be very easy to get addicted to masturbation. For one, I'm not going to cheat on my fiance. So the next best thing is masturbation. But because I've noticed that this path that I'm on is so narrow, I notice that when I overdo masturbation, I feel like my soul or my spirit is being drained. And it tires me mentally, spiritually, physically. And I've noticed my thoughts, I've noticed my mind kind of sway back and forth between negative and neutral and positive. And I noticed that when I abstain from the masturbation, I noticed that I'm either neutral or positive. So that natural God-given instinct, sex, reproduction, for reproduction, if used poorly for me, I start falling off the path, basically. Shit. Anyways, so I have to recognize these defects of character, and the main ones: fear, worry, and impatience. When all three of these for me start to come together as one, man, it's not good. So each morning, every day, in any situation, when I get mad, when I get angry, I ask God to take these defects of characters away from me so I can align back with His will. And you know what? His will for today just may be to just drive. Just drive. And maybe all His will is for me. So just drive. Feel angry, feel upset, but don't give in to the worry, the impatience, or the fear. The fear of not being somewhere on time, being impatient because the driver in front of me is too slow, or the guy at the gas station is too slow, or I have to keep resetting my fifth wheel or my tandems, and I'm being impatient. And then I'm worrying that I'm not going to get there on time because this is hypothetically now. This wasn't earlier. Hypothetically. And then I start worrying that if I'm not there on time, I'm not going to be able to get these miles on this week's check, and therefore financial insecurity starts to invade my mind. And then guess what? The only thing I'm thinking about are these things, and not God's will. Not praying for others, not just praying for the guys on the road, not praying for the quote-unquote buttheads who flick me off because I'm driving too slow. I mean, those guys need some prayer out here, man. So yeah, I have to ask God to remove these defects of character for me so that way I can be good to go with His will, to perform His will. You know, 5, 6, 7 varies, you know, 10, 11, 12, 5, 6, 7, you know, give it to God, admit your defects of character, tell your sponsor, tell another human being, tell God, be truthful. 10, 11, 12, continue to do these things every single day and be of service. Even if being of service is praying. Anyway, so I can tell you right now, how I know that the sunlight of the Spirit is within me is because I want what I have for even the most random person on the street. You know, it's not fair that I get to enjoy all this spiritualness, this light, this love of self, this love of humankind, this compassion that I have. It's not fair that others can't have it. You know, and I want them to have it. I want them badly to have it. I was never like this. I was a selfish son of a bitch. Very selfish. Only cared about myself. You know? And if I did help anyone, if I did any acts of service, it was because I wanted some kind of recognition. Simple as that. You know? And it saddens me because in order for someone to actually fully make that first step, and that's with anything. Drinking, alcohol, whatever your addiction is, whatever problem you have, sugar addiction. If you're a diabetic, I truly believe you are in actual if you're diabetic, you're just as bad as an alcoholic. And I'm sorry, my 3 subscribers, if you're watching this, let me know your opinion. But I know some people out there. I have some family members. 3 of them died in 1 year because of diabetes. And guess what? All you have to do is stop eating sugar and take the necessary steps to make your body healthy again. That's it. And of course, there's a lack of knowledge that a lot of these diabetics have, because a lot of doctors out there are either pushing the pills for the pharmaceutical companies, or because they're egotistical and think the way that they learned in college is the only way. No, it's not. Stop eating sugar. All sugar. Increase your fats. Increase your green vegetables by a shit ton. Every meal you have, 6 to 8 ounces of protein, and that's it. Lots of fat. Good fats. Anyways, that's a whole, man. Anyhow, I believe that if a diabetic would practice these 12 steps, they would recover from their sugar addiction and they would become healthy once again. Anyways, I want what I have for everyone out here, and I don't like that they have to hit rock bottom before they decide to make a change. That sucks. Anyways, that's what I got, man. First step. If this video should happen to fall in between the eyes of anyone out there, man, you're not alone. There's a lot of us out here who are suffering, but have found a place to get better. If you're an alcoholic, that's Alcoholics Anonymous. If you're not an alcoholic and you have another addiction, Alcoholics Anonymous will work. Just don't tell the old timers, because they'll get mad at you. Anyways, but that's what I got. Man, get a big book. Get a big book and get a sponsor and start practicing. Start doing what you need to do. Get her done.